We are talking with Annie Ness. She is a parent. She is a community member, was also part of the facilities committee that toured the facilities here ahead of the referendum vote, which again is coming up on June 10th. Annie, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Paula. Excited
Now,
to be here.
you're new, relatively, to
Yeah.
Valley City. What brought you to Valley City, and what kind of things did you, your husband, and your family kind of look at as you were coming into Valley City?
Yeah, so my husband and I, we moved here about 5 years ago in 2020, kind of in the peak of COVID. We decided we were ready for a change, decided to make a leap and try a new community. So my husband got a job kind of in between here and Fargo. So I hadn't had a job. I didn't have a job lined up yet. So we were looking anywhere from Valley City to, I'd say, probably Mapleton.
Sure.
At schools. Being that it was summer and the peak of COVID, our experiences with kind of shopping school districts, right,
yeah.
had to be purely from the outside drive-by. Initially, when we came to Valley City, to drive by 3 different facilities that quite frankly looked a bit dated, was, maybe not the greatest first impression. Then you go somewhere down the street, down the road, down the I-94,
Right.
and see Castleton with a brand new shiny school, K through 12. That's appealing, especially when you're from the outside looking in. I personally come from a small Class B school that was pre-K through 12, all in one building. I went through that type of school structure. My kids did, my son up through 2nd grade, my daughter went to pre-K. It was a really great experience to me to have a facility all in one, to have all those students in one place. Both from a parent perspective, ease for drop-off, ease for attending events, things like that, to have everyone all in one, but also there's really great collaboration that happens when you have all your students in one facility, right? Now, I know for my son, he was pre-K, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade. There was never a time where you're wandering the halls with the seniors or anything like that, but it's the cool things in between. It's when a junior has a free period and they can go and read to the 1st graders. It's when a senior has privileges and they can go help in the office. It's things like that that happen. It's when the football team makes it to state and they get to walk through the hallways and there's no busing kids to the pep rally. There's no figuring out how to kind of show off your other students. So I think there's just such great collaboration that happens when you have your students all in one facility. Now, obviously, we landed in Valley City, and we're so grateful we did. My kids have had fantastic opportunities here. The faculty here is amazing. The different extracurriculars that my kids have gotten to be involved in. So we don't regret our decision to come here at all, but hope that maybe the future is a new facility. Yeah.
How would a new school help your kids? Now, can 5th, 7th grade? They're getting, moving on up in grades. How would that help their learning experience and just their everything that they would go through in education?
Yeah. So I know one thing for me. So yes, I have one student at Washington and one student who is in 7th grade. So here at the junior senior high. The other day, so I work in a bank and air conditioned all day. I have to bring a jacket because it's freezing in my office, but I'm not complaining.
Right, yeah.
So I came home after work and asked my son, I'm like, I am freezing. Do you want to go sit on the deck? This is 2 days ago. And he's like, Mom, it was 87 degrees in 3 of my classrooms today. So he's like, no, I don't want to sit on the deck with you, Mom. He said, I'm still cooling off from that. And it's like, man, it's finals, it's projects that he's working on that he's stressed out about, and then to be that warm just isn't conducive to learning. And I think the other thing when we toured the facilities, education has came so far in the last, since 1919, right?
Yeah.
Things have changed, and so to see some of the classrooms, the way they've had to make it work in some of these classrooms man, it's just not a modern, it's not how kids learn anymore. And so to try to put a whiteboard on top of a chalkboard and then a smart board and then all those things when you have one outlet.
Right.
you
Okay,
know,
sure. Yeah.
One power, one outlet.
Yeah.
And all of those things that it's just the way that kids are learning now is not the same as kids learned 100 years ago. And it's time to just modernize and give our kids those options. I think another thing in touring the facilities is the ADA compliance.
Yeah.
My son is also super involved in student council, so he talks with a lot of students and comes back to me and says, Mom, did you know that, someone got stuck on the lift today? Or did you know that, just different things like that, the difficulties that he has seen other students or has heard from other students about the difficulties of getting around in the school. So I think too that's a huge thing that we need to be mindful of and progress on.
What is one thing that you really think these voters need to know when they go to the polls on June 10th and go to vote?
Yeah, I think as a facility committee member, we put a lot of time into this. This was not a rush decision. This was something that we looked at from lots of angles. I think originally we thought it would be, a couple meetings and we'd be done. It was 10 plus meetings, hours worth of conversations and perspective. So I want people to know that there was a lot of thought put into this. Also that there are so many resources out there so that people can make an informed vote. We want people to vote. We want people to vote informed.
Yeah.
So I think if you go to the website, attend the meetings, call the district office if you have questions, just so that when you go to the polls on June 10th, you're going with as much knowledge and the facts as possible, because this really is an investment in our community. And I think in the end, that's what we all want, is for Valley City to thrive and to grow and to maintain quality families, quality students. So yeah, I just hope that people educate themselves and get out and vote.
Annie, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Annie Ness joining us again. Just go to that website, highliners.org, click on the referendum button, and you will get all that information you need so you are an informed voter on June 10th.